home of the European LCS. The 2018 season starts today as the defending champions look to protect their crown from the would-be Kingslayers that are surrounding from all directions. First Blood is just minutes away as more fresh blood takes to the stage than ever before, taking their first steps towards the European throne.
And they are not alone. Here in the EU LCS studios, some of Europe's most passionate fans have gathered to cheer and support their favorite teams on opening day.
There's not much left to say. The stage is set, the players are pumped, and we are ready. It is time to find out who will rise again. This is the EU LCS.
RNG been waiting and waiting all game long for this one team fight. They got full items on their carries and they run straight at Fnatic.
Nothing Fnatic can do, and the last Fnatic member falls.
När vi torskade mot RNG på Worlds så kändes det som allt jag hade jobbat för och byggt upp var bortkastat.
مرحبا بيا يا Spanish تبصري شيء كل مرات ما باين كتير.
Victory was always in sight, but we could never reach it.
Has led his team to victory. The Nexus is the focus, and this is the G2 Dynasty.
Ja sam jedini preostali igrač iz prijašnje postave. Morali smo sastaviti potpuno novi tim, ali sam uvjeren da sam odabrao igrače s kojima opet mogu dostići vrh.
Idén úgy döntöttem, hogy csapatot váltok és a sárga színeiben fogom folytatni. Az általuk nyújtott szolid csapatstruktúrával, jó háttérstábbal és erős csapattársakkal sikerülni fog a bajnokság megnyerés.
In the beginning, they all doubted us. They were all wrong.
Mina goes down. Misfits are going to pick up Baron unless Faker hits the shot.
Misfits are playing the game of their lives right now.
Dessa känslor är inte bara min svagaste sida, utan även min starkaste. Jag kommer aldrig ge upp.
We achieved our goals, but it was not enough. Now we're back to win it all.
And for the first time in history, the fourth consecutive EU LCS title, G2 Esports.
Misfits, the underdogs in this game. No one expected anything, but they hit hard.
Yankos, the first Blood King! Let's make it a clean fight.
I'm EpicSkillshot supporter here with Martin the Fisio Lunga, ready for 12 weeks action-packed in the EU LCS Spring Split. How hype are you right now?
I'm at the top. You know, off-season is way too long. I just want the EU LCS to start again. But before we get into the games here, Shocks, we do have to tell you guys about some of the changes here to the EU LCS, and we're starting with the format.
Yeah, definitely. So no longer two groups. All teams are now in one group playing best of ones, 5 games a day, and each team plays twice a week on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, and on Friday we start at 6 p.m. So right now for everyone watching live at home, and of course tomorrow, Saturday, we start at 5 p.m. So 1 hour difference between the days.
Yeah, so adjust your schedules for that. But now let's take a look at the schedule for our first day of action, where we kick things off with a rematch of last split's finals between G2 Esports and Misfits Gaming.
Big game we're starting with, of course, and Fnatic Splice later as well. Another huge match we have. But when we have the schedule here on the screen, you guys will also notice Giants and Schalke are suddenly here in the EU LCS. They have requalified. They went through the promotion tournament. After they qualified, though, they completely rebuilt the rosters. The Schalke lineup is the one I want to talk about because there's some big names on this team here. Visicaci, Nuke Duck, the rookie upset. Like, that's a bunch of carries here who can actually make this team fight for #1.
And a lot of pressure on their shoulders. Everybody is expecting a lot from that roster, but it's not just Schalke and Giants that have changed. The whole of Europe is rebuilding as we have 36 roster changes from summer 2017, which is the most in EU LCS history. And I have to say, it does kind of feel like a fresh start.
I mean, it very much is a fresh start with every single roster making a big change. And we are used to these roster changes in Europe, but this many is still kind of crazy, and it makes it very hard to predict who's actually the best.
One of the most thrilling things about that is that we have 9 new rookies: Sheriff, Kadril, Targamas, Ruin, Jizuke, Mini Trupax, Jacktroll, Norskeren, and Upset. And a lot of these names are just, well, a lot of people are very excited to see what they can bring to the Rift. Now, some in particular.
I mean, I love the AD carry pool here. You have Upset, we already talked about him, Mini Trupax, and then Sheriff. Big names. They will for sure make a splash in the EU LCS, and it is a tradition we get a lot of new rookies. But when you get a lot of new rookies, it also means you do have to say goodbye to some older names. And players like Ignar and Power of Evil, they left Misfits Gaming. And G2 Esports, the best team in Europe the last 2 years, have lost 4 members.
That is a huge change. Our reigning champions, all that's really left is Perks, but he did get some really big names around him. He has Wonder, Jankos, that bottom lane of Yarnan and Wadid. So it is looking promising, but the question is, Fisher, will they just roll over the EU LCS again like G2 has done 4 splits in a row?
I'm going to say no. They're not just going to roll over everyone. I think there's a lot of top teams now that can compete for that first place. And again, the fact you can't really predict who's going to win just makes it even more exciting.
A lot of anticipation, and we'll get to see G2 and all the other teams on stage today. Be sure to stick around also after the last game for the first EU LCS post-game lobby of the year, where we're going to look back on all of the opening games. For now, though, we are starting off with a match between G2 and Misfits. They had a big showdown in Paris last year, with Misfits suffering a tough loss. Now, they're ready to take their revenge. The summer finals in Paris, we had G2 versus Misfits. It was going to be a fantastic, fantastic game, super hyped up. But when it came to it, Misfits seemed like they weren't even on the stage, and G2 crushed them.
Not enough frontline and not enough chances. The undisputed best team in Europe, and this is the G2 dynasty.
This is what we ended the EU LCS playoffs off in Paris in front of 10,000 people, and we get the rematch with completely revamped rosters. I'm incredibly excited.
G2 were the kings of Europe. Undisputably, undoubtedly, the kings of Europe. 4 splits in a row, never been done before. But when 4 kings abdicate their thrones, do you really have a kingdom anymore?
As I see it right now, I think this team can go farther than the last G2 team could. In the long run, I'm looking for very high goals with this team, and I think all of the players on this team have potential to be the best, not only in Europe, but like potential in the world, you know.
I want to win, that's all that matters. What was in the past is in the past, you know. 4-time like championship title in Europe, it doesn't matter for me, because I was not on the team, you know. But now I create new G2, you know, and we'll just try our best as a new team.
The last time these two teams met, it was a one-sided stomp.
G2 take it down. Misfits now falling, now getting crushed.
G2 absolutely dominated Misfits. Misfits looked like a bottom of the table team. They didn't look like title contenders.
Last year, like, Misfits was such a discount of G2, like in every single way.
Since then, they've shown up. You know, they went to Worlds, they challenged SKT. They have shown that they are a dominant powerhouse in Europe. But the question is, can they translate international success onto a domestic stage?
It's not about proving ourselves in the EU LCS, it's just about dominating in every aspect of the game, just winning every single game we play, showing that even though we lost in a pretty bad way, we can come back and be stronger. It's gotten a lot better. At the start we were still trying to mesh into how we communicate and how we play, but now it's a lot more clean, a lot smoother. If we lose now, it's not because we're disorientated, it's more we lose as a team, whereas in scrims before we lost because we just weren't synced.
I think the loss of Sven Mitty will hurt G2 a lot. I'm not sure if they can stay the kings of Europe.
It doesn't matter who beats who in lane. It doesn't matter who has more CS at the 20-minute mark. What matters is who stamps their authority on the EU LCS.